Blessings and love, family, wholeness and balance. I'm joined today by my good sister Nabiha. Nabiha is a pranic practitioner and breatharian, and she's one of my best friends in my sort of spiritual friend group. And she's a wise, sort of empathic lady, and I really always appreciate her insights and viewpoints. And we've been having conversations over the last several years on Instagram, and we've never done one on YouTube. So we thought we'd just have one of our usual talks about the things we love around the breatharian lifestyle. And welcome, Nabiha. I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jesse. I
Yeah,
always enjoy our conversations, and
likewise.
yeah, YouTube is new to me, but it doesn't even feel like it. It's just like always you and me on the screen anyway, so it's the same thing. So whatever we are streaming, so yeah, I'm happy
Right.
to be here. And how are you? How is your juicing going?
Oh, everything's going well. I was just sort of thinking about that because I think I'm going to do a 2 day. Hey, there's Jerome. Blessings, Jerome.
I don't see
But
anything. I don't see who joined or
Jerome,
anything.
uh, maybe it's just here on my end. But welcome, Jerome. Jerome's another one of, I would say, one of my best friends on this in my spiritual community, my pranic sangha. And yeah, things have been well on the juicing journey. I just like, I think I'm going to start trying to. Last summer, I was able to dry fast 48 hours every week on top of my 23-hour dry fast. And that felt really, really good. And I've been wanting that back. And I think my body is telling me that it's time to do that again. So, because I've been, doing my usual juicing 1 hour a day and it's just felt heavy. And I've been definitely kind of more in like, you know, um, just feasting mode, just because it's winter and I can't garden as much and I'm kind of bored and, the holidays and all that. So, uh, yeah, it just
Nice.
feels like time to to do that. And I always feel that with the shift of the energy of the sun, in the summer, I can always fast longer, more easily, you know.
Mm, yeah.
How about you? How's your journey going?
Yeah, I'm
Mm,
still experimenting on myself, to say so. I wanted to go natural day today. I've been on different mono diets lately.
mhm,
Um, just came off of orange mono diet.
mm,
I think it lasted maybe 11 to 12 days. I just lost counting. But yeah, I'm enjoying one fruit at a time. And
mhm,
it's like I either will never eat that fruit or I feel like, oh, this is okay actually. And I had some cucumber mono before
mm,
the orange, and that was I like that one really. I didn't
mhm,
have to. It wasn't too loud, like orange can be like too much, pineapple can be too much. But the cucumber was just this is my thing.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
Today I wanted to go natural state, but then when I came home from work, I was like, oh my god, my tea. My niece made
mhm,
me some tea, so I ended up having tea. So from tonight, I want to go natural.
mhm.
Just because I feel like it's time. You just
Me
know
too.
it's time.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's be accountability partners. I'll go with you and you'll go with me. I was
Oh, that's
planning
right.
on doing it this weekend, because like I said, I've just been feeling it, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it gives me like a mental relief, as well. I've been, feeling. I get kind of like hemmed in during the winter time. I like it. I like to go snowboarding. I go out and cut wood, and I go. It's a nice lifestyle, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I'm a sun creature, so I want to be with the sun and out in the garden and
Mm-hmm.
barefoot. But whatever the case, yeah, I'm feeling it right now, and I just with respect to uh, I wouldn't call it seasonal affective disorder, but
Mm-hmm.
I just I can't get the light, I can't get the movement, and I feel that like on an emotional as well as a physical level, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I'm starting to understand that everything has its purpose, even the cold, the dark winters, the bright summers, all of it has its purpose, right? So somehow, like when we find that balance within, I think we can embrace each season. So right now, uh, I don't feel like it's very dark out here, and it's not so cold, but it's definitely not summer and shiny like California. But I feel like my body and my mind really needed this
Mm-hmm.
uh, to experience this season. And there's something within me that's happening, during this season. And I feel like I've been absent from it for so long
Mm-hmm.
that I'm starting to embrace every climate, basically, if it's raining, storm, if it's snowy, shiny, whatever. I'm starting to feel like all of them have their value. So but I can understand that you'll be longing for
Mm-hmm.
the sunshine and the tropic, because you've been away from that, right? Just like I was longing for the cold and for this kind of climate. So
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It's like winter feels like a gestation period or something. Like you just kind of
mhm,
go within and regrow into yourself in a way. And I think in natural timing and natural economics, that would be like, you know, that was the lifestyle I was pursuing doing permaculture and everything, is uh, that I would work and make my money and gather up, fruits and foods and everything,
mhm.
during the summer. And then in the winter, I just hang out by the fire and read books and meditate, you know, but
Yeah.
still got to go out and go like find ways to make money and serve the community. But I think that that natural in and out cycle of like expansion and contraction is really like beneficial for our like growth, like the
Hmm.
epigenome as well as our like mental spiritual growth, you know
Hmm.
to have these different um, sort of seasons and
Yeah.
experiences like the high and the low of the kundalini, where you go through rough times, but
Hmm.
then you go through high times and then you go through rough time, and it's like part of just the cycles, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything has its purpose. So it's like, yeah, the winter time, I always feel like, okay, now I feel this is the season for me to relax, like you were saying, just meditate and read and do all the things that for you to just prepare yourself for the summer, right? Or spring or whatever. But yeah, if you need some tropics, you should go there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to Costa Rica pretty soon. I'm really excited. We're gonna have fun, and just gonna bring my juicing bag,
Hmm.
my nut milk bag, and just go to farmers markets. There's so much wonderful fruit to experience down in Costa Rica, so I'm excited for that. We're gonna see a couple permaculture farms, and
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
something that I've been dream building for a while, that hoping to activate more and more over time here of like making permaculture Airbnb retreats, where people
Oh
could
yeah.
come and do pranic initiation or darkroom meditation or drum workshops and just have practice permaculture, build with natural building, and you
That's
know
nice.
uh, just just fun, have fun basically.
Yeah. I know you love doing those things. So I hope that all come together, It's gonna happen soon. You're
yeah
gonna
we,
rent like hub houses?
yeah, we actually we've been working on ours here in northern New Mexico, where we got our cob building all set up, and we just received our yurt the other day. We have a Mongolian yurt. We're gonna set up and offer that here this summer. If it's this process of going through all the permitting and all the what have you, that you can't really tell how fast things are gonna go
Mm.
sometimes, but hope to have it up, by the end of spring, so that people could come and stay here on the farm, and we can start. We do herbalism retreats, and we're actually doing a fasting class tomorrow here, but that will give us like more space to facilitate that and to bring people into permaculture and herbalism and everything here on our little homestead. And but then we'll just branch out to other cool places, the
Hmm.
tropic, Hawaii, NorCal, are some of the places we'd like to, go and be. And so,
Yeah, you should. You should. Everything is eventually going to come together, you know, as long as you
yeah,
have the vision, it will
yeah, and
come.
just keep plugging at it and just, stay with it like everything, but
Hmm. Hmm.
it's interesting the way we create. That was one of the things I kind of thought we could talk about, in terms of this live of like the whole just process of manifestation and the way in which action and also like wu wei or allowing are like two important parts of like that I see in the manifestation process. You're trying to create a vibration, but then there's your natural vibration, you know and and then you're trying you want to manifest through habits and skill building, but then there's also realizing that you have everything already within you. And it's just, it can feel a little bit like confusing to the mind, these paradoxes. What's your
Hmm.
take? What's your feelings on all that?
Man, I feel like everything comes into acceptance, when you accept that you're not actually lacking anything.
Yeah.
You know, is a
Yeah.
level of acceptance. So I don't believe in manifestations as like, okay, let me just say this out loud and this is going to happen. Or
Mm,
let me do this, and this is going to happen. It's a process from within. There's an acceptance that need to happen that, hey, like I already have everything. And it's
mm-hmm.
not just like saying that I already have this and you just imagine it and then you start imagining it. It's that you really do have it. It's an
Yes.
acceptance because of that feeling of seeking something all the time is like a feeling of lack from within. So it's like when you come into that acceptance of like, okay, I do have everything. So everything that you do actually feel like you have will come to you. It come towards you. So
Hmm.
then it would appear right in front of you because you already believed in it,
Right.
right?
It aligns too with sort of like the alchemical, sayings and stuff about, vibration and attraction. So if
Hmm.
you want to have everything you need, if you're just vibrating, you have everything you need, then that's what you're attracting,
Hmm.
or if you're vibrating generosity or
Hmm.
kindness, and that's what you're attracting,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
But there's this level to it that's like uncontrived, you know what I mean? There
Hmm.
versus a love that's something that I've been like trying to understand for a couple of years, in terms of like all the, business coach, personal development coach stuff out there. There's a lot of great talk and everything, but I think there's a way in which we can sort of bypass, like sort of spiritually bypass our true feelings and intentions, trying to, hammer or cajole, creation into a specific manifestation rather than just letting manifestation arise spontaneously, you
Hmm.
know, uncontrived and being just in that, like you said, in like a state of contentment with that, because whatever it is, because that's on the one hand, what else can you do?
Hmm.
And on the other hand, that's what's going to create more of that sense of contentment and
Yeah.
attract. So,
Yeah. I think it's like I always say like create this vibration of gratitude. So when I say like you have everything, it's whatever you will call nothing will become everything as well, right? It's a form of gratitude. So that gratitude will create this vibration. This like if you have like something that someone will call nothing and you're just grateful for it and you feel like you have everything, right? That's the kind of acceptance of gratitude. You're grateful for everything, right? And then everything that you want really will come towards you because of that gratitude. So it's kind of like a vibration of gratitude that you have within yourself, so you won't have that feeling of lack. because you will be grateful for everything, right?
To- I totally
So,
feel you. It makes me think of like the Buddhist ideas about wanting and desire, because that's like a quality where you feel incomplete,
mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and instead of like just feeling how you are complete,
Yeah,
in the moment, they talk about the eight worldly concerns of pleasure and pain, gain and loss. If you're trying to manifest from this place of like, I want this $1 million and whatever, like you can definitely achieve it, but you could still have your feelings wrapped up in this state of painfulness. You know,
yeah,
you can also achieve that kind of money and be completely detached from it and completely free and happy and
mm-hmm.
helpful with your money. But it's just an interesting thing. Or it might not be money, maybe you just want a certain situation. I know for myself, I just want to live like on a beach or in a mud hut somewhere where I can meditate all day and like study Dharma and go piddle in the garden, or maybe surf or hike,
Yeah.
Um, but
You maybe have a expectation of how that is supposed to look like,
yeah,
right? Because no matter where you are is paradise. You can
yeah,
make it paradise exactly where you are, right? But it's like when we have expectations of like, okay, I want that house in that area and I want it to look like this and I want it to be that. You can get there, but your mindset can still be the same. So you will still be in that on fulfillment of life. You feel like, oh my God, I haven't achieved that. Now I am in the Himalayas and here I am
hmm
studying this, but you will still feel that lack, right? So
hmm
it's very important to understand that wherever you are is your mindset that makes it hell and heaven, no
hmm
matter where you are, right? So when you're always seeking something, it's good to maybe like look within and think like, okay, hey, what is it that I'm longing for? What is it that I'm looking for, right? And you will find that peace no matter where you are. And then you will just see yourself in that space that you really want to be, right? Because of
hmm
that's exactly where you want to be, right? And you will just be there. But
hmm
it's in here.
a
It's
hundred
in here.
percent. You could be in paradise and be in hell in the same moment.
Hmm.
Um,
Exactly. You can chase it, and then when you get there, the mind can be still there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
at the same time, I think there is that benefit too of like sometimes, people, it goes a couple different ways. Like people will go to have like, for instance, a vacation. Oh, oh, you're back.
Yeah. That was my phone ringing. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still ringing. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. I forgot where I was going with that.
Very good.
Um, no, it's okay. No worries.
Yeah.
I was talking about the way people can get into the idea of going on a vacation, you know,
Yeah.
and that there's some like happiness and enjoyment to be had there, and you may like create some benefit by being able to change, past patterns, and just like have some fun, rewire some, um, neural pathways. But something I'm seeking is just like and I really find it in the Buddhist teaching most of all. It's like an abiding uh, sense of liberation and happiness, uh, you know, uh, based on practice and discipline, but also on, you know, proper motivations and proper thoughts that are just like inherent to human beings that create happiness. Like that, we generally, this really comes into play with breatharianism, because people like generally feel their happiness are connected with like sense pleasures or vacations or things like that. But really, the happiness in that abiding state is inside, and it doesn't come from nothing external. Uh, gives you that, it's all
Yeah.
internal. Um,
Yeah. That's true. But it's like, when it comes to routines and habits and stuff, some people can create habits, but still be very unhealthy because of the mind is still the same.
mhm,
So some people will force, like, okay, let me get up early, let me meditate, let me work out, let me eat healthy, let me do this, let me do that. But their mindset is still runs the same. So no matter what you do, you still toxic when your mind is still wired the same way. and it's that
Mhm.
mind that it's always seeking. It's it's different. You know, that's the paradox again, right? When it comes to the mind, are you supposed to seek somehow, but then at the same time, you're not supposed to get lost in that seeking,
Mhm.
right? You're supposed to
Yeah.
understand things and differentiate things, and use the mind that kind of way, but not, be consumed by the mind, or, you
You can
know,
become a hungry ghost, never
hmm
satisfied, no matter how much you try to satiate with, you know.
exactly. You'll be
Yeah.
seeking, seeking, seeking because you're looking for something to complete you, not knowing that you're all already complete. Right? So you
Mhm.
will keep on seeking, keep on seeking, keep on going, but you will never arrive because you're already here.
Mhm. Aho.
Right? Yeah. So it's like
Yes.
we say in the spiritual world, there's a lot of people that just say these things, but I always wonder, like, have you grasped it? Do you understand? Did it
Mhm.
sink in? Did it click? Right?
Well,
Because it's a level of understanding, it's a level of acceptance. Is
that's
we
where I
say one.
think. Oh, sorry.
No, no, go
What were you
ahead.
saying? I was going to say that's where I think breatharianism is great practice, because just by not consuming stuff, you know, just that one thing, it just does something to your consciousness. And I do think, people can do those practices and have their mind kind of stuck in a place. But at the same time, my experience is the longer that you do those kinds of practices, it even arises from this place, this pure place of like, I want to do better, I want to feel better, I want to try, you know, that starts to ripen into results over
hmm
time,
hmm
you know.
Don't get lost in them.
Yeah.
It's
And that
that we all got here because we were seeking something.
the trick is not to get attached to, like in Buddhism they talk about the dharma being a raft to cross to the other side, of the samsara into freedom, you
hmm
know. But once you get into the forest, you don't take the raft out of the river and carry it with you, you know. There's
hmm
a place where you leave the thing behind, you know. um
Yeah, yeah.
Even meditation, meditation, I think, is pretty much one of the most beneficial things people can do, but it can be like form of like escapism too. It depends on
How
your
you
motive.
use it. Yeah,
Yeah, your motivation.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that. It's like, oh, I want to be by myself, and it's just like, you just let me go meditate, but you just sit still and daydream.
Hmm.
The mind's still running, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah, anything too much can be too bad. Anything too much. So it's like you have to mix and match everything and then juggle in reality. It's like you have like all these balls in the air, so you have to really juggle. You have to keep that balance, but it's very easy to get off track, and it's easy to get trapped in in these beliefs and all these concepts that's around. Like you wake up to yourself, you're seeking something, now you get trapped in whatever that you found. Now you're
Hmm.
stuck on this level, right? It's like an elevator. You go up, you get up of the fifth level, and now you're stuck in that level. You need to come back and then go up and then explore, and then that's the journey of life. But too many of us get everything too serious, too serious.
Well, yeah, it's this thing of like, we're here, the Buddhists talk about that too, like the the preciousness of this human body and the opportunity that we have in it, you know, and that, uh, to take the time to liberate yourself is like the best thing you can do, and to put, like you were just saying, you know, their mind has like these traps, like just basically based on our sense organs, our ears, our eyes, our taste, the smell, those things, like, and also things, thoughts in the mind. And
Mm-hmm.
we can attach to those things and think that that's what is, because there's so many beautiful things, so many beautiful smells, so many beautiful flavors, so many beautiful things to see with your eyes, people and landscapes, and you know sunsets and everything, and beautiful music, um and that can elevate your experience. But if you're attached to anything from the outside for your internal state, then it can be taken away. It's subject to decay, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
versus
Mhm.
if you're concentrating your energy on the vibe all the time, the right things will happen. Even if you're in the middle of like the worst calamity of stuff, that's actually the best time, of course, to be practicing holding a high vibe, you
Mhm.
know, just your own vibe. It doesn't have to be a high vibe, just be with whatever your
Our
vibe
vibe
is.
is high. So
Yeah.
yeah, your own vibe is high. But it, like you were saying earlier, Desi, you said that breatharian journey is a good thing for people. I really believe that as well, even though whatever name people associate that with, it's like when you remove stuff from yourself, like when you eat less, when you are conscious about what goes inside of you, when you are aware of what kind of information that you take in, both with your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your skin, no matter how the information gets in, when you're aware of that, you're empty from the external stimulations. You kind of like absent from that influence of outside as well. So now you have your own clean energy, so it's
Hmm.
easier to see, like you were saying, like, okay, a sunshine, or like, the mountains or beautiful plant. That's a perspective. It can be right in front of you and you will not even know the beauty of it because of you so clogged up and everything
Hmm.
is so stuff that whatever mountain that's in front of you that's beautiful, you can't see it because your eyes are not clear. You're fogged, right? It's a foggy. So it's all about cleansing yourself so you become that empty instrument that really can see things, right?
Hmm.
So I really believe that this journey is beautiful for people, and I don't think like anyone should complicate it. Just learn how to fast from, you know, food. And then when you start fasting from food, now you have a different way of thinking because people think like what they eat. If you eat a lot of meat and you eat a lot of things and you drink alcohol and stuff, you think that way. That's how you see the world, right? Whatever energy that you have from within. So when you stop eating certain things and you're absent from certain energy, then your senses will open up, your mind will open up more, your heart will open up more. So you will see things differently. So when you
Hmm.
start with that, now you can make different choices. Like now you understand like a different meaning with the reality. You understand what the spirituality is about. You will understand. So you won't become like a victim somehow. Like, okay, let me hang on to this thing called spirituality. Let me sit still for meditation because that's what everybody do. It's just it's not what we're supposed to do. It's just like understanding, everything as energy.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's a start. It's a good start to remove whatever you have within you. It's food.
Yeah, I like what you said because and that's been my experience with it is like, you know, to fast. And I think anyone who's experimented with fasting has had this sensation of just like the mental clarity you get and sort of this attunement to hearing, feeling with your whole being,
Hmm.
that is like a clearer signal when you're fasted, you
Yeah.
know, and because your body isn't chemically and energetically trying to deal with whatever you put in your mouth, you know.
Hmm.
So your consciousness can go to other places. It can focus more on, you know, um, this signal, of I think of us all as basically like a dial, a radio frequency dial, a certain bandwidth,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
And so when the signal comes in clear, you can hear the music nice and clearly. Um, and
Yeah.
that's part of what all these practices are of like fasting and meditation and you know um, to learn to allow, because I think that's the difficulty is that we do have to like uh, explore the yin and the yang as we're trying to create and understand energy in this world. And if there's, so to go out there and be in activity, but then not to become controlling and attached, to the manifestation part, but just to allow and be okay with things arising as they will spontaneously, you know.
Hmm.
and that's part of that's my experience also with the breatharian path of like you need to learn to balance energy in these ways so that you can manage, because there's life's going to throw stuff at you. You're still, just because you're practicing breatharian arts doesn't mean like you're not going to get hit with your karmas, you know.
Yeah. You have to welcome everything, you know. Everything is allowed to be there. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's the mixture. When you mix it and you find that balance, that's it. It's not like you can you shouldn't be expecting to sit in meditation and not have any problems, nothing, this, and just be peace. It's not even possible to achieve just one side. It's a dual world, so you have to balance it. So yeah,
Well,
it's a journey, and this journey it doesn't have a destination. Jesse, to me, it doesn't have any destination, and it's like when you're attached to a destination. It's like, oh my God, oh I have to do this, and I didn't do this right, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm supposed to help the whole world. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be that. It's none of that. You're supposed to just help yourself, figuring yourself out, right? So you're doing the world a favor by figuring yourself out, and
hmm
you just focus on yourself, go inward. Just, when it comes to this food thing as well, like it's good to really like experiment on yourself, like what is it my body really is telling me, right? And
hmm
not follow just the trend because of there's a trend out there. Oh, everybody's doing this, let me do this. Everybody's breathing this way, let me breathe this way. Now you're just following a different crowd, right?
hmm
So it's good to have that when you're empty from all of these external influences. Really, you can just think for yourself, and there's nothing better than just being without thinking about, okay, let me achieve this, let me achieve that, let me do this, let me do that, and you will know what's not good for you because you will feel it. Like, okay, this is not resonating with me, I go the other way, and this is how
hmm
I feel right now. It's just like kind of like you find your way around by not imitating, but by just analyzing yourself somehow.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, just being uh, okay with things as they are. If
Hmm.
things are chaotic, they're chaotic. If things are
Yeah.
peaceful, let them be peaceful. If they're
Hmm.
you know that's what I love about like that Taoist thought of Wu Wei. Non-forcing, just letting things arise and come and go, because everything you know is transitory. All of the entertainment you seek and the money and the really, but to be able to be present through the life, and
Hmm.
and to be in contentment and sort of a loving appreciation of life, then I think that's all we really need to strive for, but that it's
Yeah.
also something that's very natural to us, you know um,
Yeah.
and it
I
just
think
sort of
all suffering.
sorry,
Yeah.
what?
No, I think all suffering comes from us controlling and creating that resistance.
hmm
Yeah. If we just let things flow, it wouldn't become suffering. We suffocate ourselves by our expectations, what we think we can control, and all of these things. And at the end of the day, we really don't control that much
hmm
but ourselves. Everything is happening somehow. And it's like, okay, let me flow with it, because of the more you go in the flow with it, the more it will serve you. But the more you create that resistance and you think you can control something, the more it slaps you. It goes against. It's like going against the wave somehow. So
hmm hmm
when you find that flow, it's easy really. Life is not so complicated. You
makes me
welcome
think
it.
of surfing.
Mhm.
Mhm. Makes me think of surfing. Like,
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about surfing, and excited to do that in my lifetime. And it's this whole, like, I see it as this whole like metaphor of
Hmm.
flow, accepting what the ocean is offering, and then each wave being sort of distinctive, and you have to like choose your waves carefully. And then you get in there and you got to get in the right place, otherwise you get kind of knocked around. But it just comes through watching and practicing and messing up and then getting back up, and you know
Yeah.
and that's just feels like a metaphor for life in a lot of ways that you just,
It is.
you know, and
Yeah.
that there's this big, massive force of nature, that's like kind of just like throwing you around, but you're like
Yeah.
enjoying and playing with it, you know.
Have to. Have you seen drunk drivers get in accidents? They never.
No,
They're not. Oh, they never die. It's always the one that's sober that dies.
yeah,
The reason why is, I believe, the reason why is because the drunk driver is not controlling it. He's not resisting.
yeah,
While the person that's awake and sober, they see the crash, they register it already. The crash happens harder on them because it hits them with a resistance. While the drunk person would just roll with the car. They would
yep.
just, all the falls and everything, they would just slam back and forth. And yeah, just like the wave, right? So it's in
Makes
the
me think,
control.
makes me think of the Drunken Master, Jackie
Oh,
Chan.
oh yes, that's been a while ago. I don't even remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this old guy who knows this style of kung fu, and he has to get really drunk to do it, you
Hmm.
know. And but then he's like a deadly kung fu artist, Um, and I just yeah, I know for a fact that that's actually what happens with drunk drivers, is that they're relaxed, and when then you tense up if like you see someone coming to crash into you, then makes things worse. And
Yeah, you break everything if you just tense.
yeah,
Yeah. But it's the same thing with the brain. We need to have that relaxed. When it
yeah,
comes to reality, don't even think like a reality is always hitting you. It's the same
yeah,
thing with the manifestations. It's not like, if you just go with that flow,
hmm
like you're part of it all. You know that this is your birthright. It's just, okay, I'm good where I'm at. When you accept that, everything you need will just come towards you.
just trusting life's flow. I think that's something that it's just not something we're more enculturated to try to control things,
Mm-hmm.
through grades and jobs and performance and etc. That you have to like run through all these hoops and stuff. And the better you are at doing that and developing that way, the better you nav- navigate sort of the matrix. But the real world of biology and nature is more, quixotic and chaotic and unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that we when we learn to adapt, we become more adaptive, you know, and more able. It's like it works us out, our brains and our nervous system and our consciousness, to be able to deal with new and different challenges all the time. And I think we're all going through that on the collective level right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of another good place of trust to be like, okay, all this crazy stuff we're going through, as a human collective, just trust the process. It's leading, it's got to lead to the right direction, because otherwise it wouldn't be happening.
Exactly.
And
And it's going into the right direction. The only thing that stops is our resistance again, like our control. We think we control something instead of like going in that acceptance and flow with it. So yeah, every time you think you have control over something, like let's say like if you say like let me hold my breath. The breath is just keep on flowing, keep on going. You're not planning the next breath to come in. It's just coming in when it's coming in. But the time you say let me control it, that's when start not breathing. You can't breathe when you start holding your breath.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I really like, there's all these like breath work styles, but I really like to just sit and breathe naturally, and not
That's
have
how
an
you're
idea
supposed to be.
of
All this
how
come.
long. Yeah,
Yeah.
holding your breath. And I know there's benefits to all those things, but and a lot of the yogic breaths and everything, but I think also just finding something that works for you and staying consistent with it. If box breathing helps you, just do box breathing, but um, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just again human mind trying to prove something.
mm-hmm,
That's all it is. The only thing with breathing to me is that with our situation and the reality we live in, It's easy to forget how to breathe, you know, because you breathe in the sense of like how you see things and how you take things and how your reality looks like. That's how you start breathing. So most of us have forgotten how to breathe, and we shallow breathe. And
Totally.
once you clean your body, you clear your mind, and you sit still with yourself, and you just know how to sync your breath and then breathe correctly. I think that's it. Now you find the flow again, like when you were like a baby. You find that flow, but to complicate it here and there and create all these devices to breathe here and there, all of that is just like human mind creating something again. You know, we always like to take something and then make something else out of it, or complicate it. Yeah.
That's what I like. Something I like about you and that I think we share is just like this appreciation for simplification. You know, that's something that's drawn me to the breatharian path. You know, it's like
Mm.
I love growing food. I love cooking. I love, learning about all the herbs and stuff. But really, I'd like to move into a lifetime style where I can just like meditate and travel and move around freely.
Hmm.
And breatharianism is one of those things that enables that, where you're not focusing on like going to work and like trying to like maintain anything, you know, um, substantial in sort of the conventional, you know, uh, business world or world of human affairs,
Hmm. Hmm.
but to just be more of a natural earth spirit, just moving through nature, living and breathing and just appreciating, and I think there's I think there's so much more that human beings can do than we even realize. I was just researching this little thing about biological transmutation,
Hmm.
um, and this was with chickens. But if you feed chickens potassium, their bodies can turn it into calcium. And
Wow.
the way they does it is the mitochondria is like a particle accelerator, and
Hmm.
so in other words, it's kind of like magic. Our bodies of plants and bodies of animals can do things that, biological transmutation is their like technical term for magic. Essentially, like
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
magically changed. You know,
Yeah, it is
um,
magic.
and
Yeah.
the way we can affect reality at the quantum level of our bodies, but also of creation, if we can just, if we can just read, the uh, instruction manual through meditation of how this body works and this consciousness and how they connect and interrelate, then I think we could do things in this reality that are just beyond our wildest dreams. In fact, you know, but
Yeah, I believe that too. But that's why you're supposed to work on you and not outside of you, right?
yeah,
So we are given 8 hours of outside of ourselves. So yeah, the work is within. We have to work on inside.
yeah, I geek out on that. I think about how cool it would be if I could focus on like inner alchemy meditation, as much as I work on work, you know, it would,
Find like little times here and there, and then they build up, and then it just becomes like, yeah, it builds up like that. That's what I mean. Like we have to balance these things. Maybe
yeah,
we go to work every day, but then find that little time, prioritize that little time to just sit somewhere and then check on yourself. So
yeah,
the more consistent you do it, the more it becomes like, okay, a normal thing. And maybe the work will fall off. Just like, food. It's not like you should fight with the food or anything like that. Food is not the problem. It is our mind and how we consume it. So the more you work on your mind, the more the food will just fall off. It's not something you have to like work on too hard. So it's the same
hmm,
thing with the lifestyle as well. Like really the lifestyle that you want, slowly just take the first step towards it, no matter where it is. It's like, when people have like all these big businesses, they started in the garage, somewhere in
hmm,
their home. So it's the same thing with our work as well, in inner work. If you every day when you take off that hat at work, just go somewhere, remove yourself from everybody, sit still with yourself, and just check on yourself. That's the first step, right? And the more frequent you do it, the more you will attend to different things, that just tune in your frequency. So yeah, then it will become 8 hours. Does it? It will become 8 hours of working on yourself.
I try. I mean, I break it up through the day. I try to like they say every 1.5 to every 3 hours, you should
Hmm.
take, 5 to 10 minutes at least,
Hmm.
and I'll stop and I'll sit in the sun and just kind of, close my eyes and absorb the nice sun and breathe and listen to the birds, or I will sit in the sauna for a little bit, or I'll just get in kind of yoga like child pose or something and just
Hmm.
kind of chill for a minute, you know. But I just it's I'm kind of addicted. I just want to do that with all of my time. It's
Yeah,
just
I know.
fun, that and music. Is like it's all stuff that the best things in life are completely free, and they're just like things that you develop. There's
Yeah.
you know a good attitude, kindness, you know, um, you know, a garden, musical abilities, this health lifestyle of just like fasting and sun gazing and grounding and qigong and meditation, all that. You don't have to pay anyone, to do that.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
you can be your own doctor and your own, psychologist and all these things by
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah. Everything step by step. I believe you're already there, Jesse. You're already there.
Yeah, you are too. I mean, we all are, right? I mean, it's that's the thing. That's the only realization, I guess, there really is to realize that you're already there and
Hmm.
to relax.
Hmm.
You know, um,
Yeah.
I forget who said it. It was I don't know if it was Oogly or one of those people was like, the only thing to master is to master how to relax.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I think it's Mujibaba.
yeah,
Oh, was it maybe Sadhguru? One of
I
them.
I was someone like that. Yeah,
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, but it's true. Just learn how to relax, meaning like, okay, you don't control anything, you don't try to control anything, everything is fine. It's just, and don't take anything for granted either. Just know it's always both sides and be accepted by it. It's okay. It's okay, both sides. But don't say that, yeah, just let me just relax, everything is fine. Let me just not do this.
yeah.
You have responsibilities. Everything is
It,
responsibility,
it,
right? So,
yeah, it doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean non-action. It
hmm.
means whatever you're doing, just try to chill. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. If you're
Mhm.
sad, feel it. If you're mad, feel it. If you're happy, feel it. All of it, it's yours.
Mhm.
So you should
That's
feel all of it.
the only way you're gonna get through it. And they even say, like in Buddhism too, when bad stuff starts happening, they say that's a good sign because they say it's negative karma that's ripening and moving through you, and pretty soon after that bad experience, you'll
Yeah.
have had that done with,
Yeah.
and you won't have to go through that again because it's
Yeah.
cleared.
I
You
believe
know.
that. My mom
Yeah.
always used to say when I break a glass or something like that, she's like, "It's okay. Something was supposed to happen. Something bad was supposed to happen, so that took care of it."
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Just I'm going live with Louisa. I forgot about the
Okay.
time.
Yes. No, I want to respect your time, and yeah, we usually talk about 45 minutes or an hour. So, um, but thank you for taking your time with me, Nabiha. I always love chatting with you, and let's
This was
let's
fun.
connect on Instagram or somewhere else again soon. Love you
Yeah.
so much.
Love you
Thanks for
too,
sharing
brother.
your wisdom and just yeah being
You too.
here.
You too. Thank you for having me, Jesse. Talk to you soon.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Blessings, family.